International Covenants, ICCPR and ICESCR. A. Historical background. Following the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR, in 1948, there was a widespread consensus within the United Nations that a binding legal framework was necessary to translate the ideals of the Declaration into enforceable obligations. However, geopolitical tensions, particularly the ideological divide of the Cold War, made a single, unified human rights treaty unattainable. As a result, the UN General Assembly decided to draft two complementary treaties, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR, and the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, ICESCR. Both covenants were adopted by the General Assembly on 16 December 1966, and entered into force in 1976, following the requisite number of ratifications. Together with the UDHR, these instruments form what is often referred to as the International Bill of Human Rights. B. Structure and content. International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR. The ICCPR focuses on protecting individuals' freedoms from governmental interference and ensuring participation in civil and political life. It is organized into 6 parts. Part 1 recognizes the right of peoples to self-determination. Part 2 outlines the obligations of states to respect and ensure rights without discrimination. Parts 3 to V enumerate specific civil and political rights, including right to life, Article 6, freedom from torture, Article 7, right to a fair trial, Article 14, freedom of thought, conscience, and religion, Article 18, freedom of expression, Article 19, right to peaceful assembly, Article 21, political participation, Article 25. The ICCPR is supplemented by 2 optional protocols. The first optional protocol allows individuals to submit complaints about violations to the Human Rights Committee. The second optional protocol seeks to abolish the death penalty. International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, ICESCR. The ICESCR addresses the rights necessary for individuals to live with dignity, relating to economic welfare, education, health, and cultural participation. It is organized into 5 parts. Part 1 recognizes the right to self-determination. Part 2 describes the nature of state obligations to progressively realize rights. Parts 3 to V detail specific rights, including right to work, Article 6, right to social security, Article 9, right to an adequate standard of living, Article 11, right to education, Article 13, right to participate in cultural life, Article 15. Unlike the ICCPR, the ICESCR emphasizes progressive realization, meaning that full achievement of rights is recognized as a gradual process, dependent on available resources. The ICESCR is supplemented by the optional protocol to the ICESCR, adopted in 2008, allowing individuals to submit complaints regarding violations of their economic, social, and cultural rights. C. Legal significance and enforcement mechanisms. ICCPR. The ICCPR establishes a Human Rights Committee, consisting of independent experts who monitor implementation. States must submit regular reports on their compliance, and the committee issues concluding observations. Under the first optional protocol, individuals can lodge complaints after exhausting domestic remedies, thereby providing an international forum for redress. Although the committee's decisions are not legally binding in the same manner as court judgments, they carry considerable moral and political authority. ICESCR. The ICESCR established a Committee on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights to monitor state compliance through periodic reports. While there is no direct adjudicative mechanism similar to the Human Rights Committee's complaint procedure, unless the state has ratified the optional protocol, the committee's general comments interpret the scope and meaning of specific rights, progressively shaping international legal norms. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe the channel for more information.